The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, announced that Russia is considering the scenario of a terrorist attack on the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Russian terrorists are pushing the world into the abyss of nuclear disaster. There have never been terrorist attacks on nuclear facilities, and this is categorically unacceptable. Radiation knows no boundaries. The hit targets are determined only by the direction of the wind. So this is a question of the safety of all humanity, as it was during the Chernobyl accidents. Ukraine has evidence of Russian plans, and all available information is passed on to state governments and international organizations. So from the very first day of the occupation, Russian troops have been provoking a catastrophe, mining the stations, passing military equipment and ammunition there, shelling the territory of Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. So what are the dangers that the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant carries exactly in the state in which it is now?
Well, first of all, the occupation of an operating nuclear power plant is the first time in the history of mankind. Currently, 5 power units of the ZNPP are in a state of cold shutdown. 1 power unit, number 5, not stop. ZNPP has not produced electricity since September of the 22nd year. And the most dangerous state, the fact that power unit number 5 is not switched to cold shutdown, as the State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate of Ukraine wrote, because they want to bring the 5th power unit to the minimum controlled capacity, in order a larger scale of radiation emissions due to the accident.
That is the Russians, you mean?
Russians, yes. There are many scenarios. General Budanov said that the protective shield in the cooler tank was mined. Yes, mined spray ponds, which are also used for cooling. It is not necessary to blow up the reactor itself. It is enough to blow up pipelines that supply water for cooling, or ponds, or splash pools, so that it is not possible to cool power units. And why the most dangerous state of the 5th power unit? Because in the cold stop, the coolant temperature of the first circuit is 70 degrees. Less water is needed for cooling, and the temperature of the coolant of the first circuit in the 5th power unit is 275 degrees. Do you understand? And therefore, the difference. For example, let's imagine that there is no water for cooling. In the case of cold stop, from the moment there is no water to beginning of a serious accident with the melting of the active zone, 8 days. If there is no water for the 5th power unit, 27 hours. Accident like in Fukushima is beginning. I would like to point out that all the nuclear power plants of Ukraine have implemented instruments taking into account the lessons of Fukushima. In particular, there are hermetic envelopes. The reactor design is different from the one at the Chernobyl NPP. There are hydrogen recombinators and filters for the retention of radionuclides, right? There are enough mobile pumping stations, mobile reserve diesel generators. Undoubtedly, emissions of radioactivity as a result of a severe accident with melting of the active zone will be less than at Fukushima. Certainly. But we don't know yet. Maybe they will damage the hermetic shell, because the hermetic shell is such a roof, very strong, made of concrete, which covers the reactor. Therefore, it is necessary to prepare for the worst options, to be ready. And if they do not happen, well, it will be fine. Therefore, it is necessary to prepare.